up, YouTube? Welcome, I'm Judith Rose. It's my second episode. It's Friday, October 2nd. It's supposed to be a really busy month. The debates just happened and there's so much going on and I've learned so much. I mean, I don't even know where to start. I have just dropped some new designs in my shop to celebrate my YouTube series, so go take a look, judithroseshop.com. First of all, this morning I woke up to having some trouble getting into my main Twitter account. They asked me for a verification code for my phone number and I didn't get the code, kept trying to get it and got locked out. So I'm gonna try that again tomorrow and see what happens. I was able to get verified back into my backup account, that's at Judith Rose Music. Give me a follow there in case I lose my main account again and we just have to start over. I don't wanna. Anyway, the debates. If you haven't seen my reaction to the debates, take a look at one of my previous videos here. The sound clips and the expressions alone kind of tell you what you need to know. It was a bit of a mess. Everyone interrupting a whole lot. I agree that Trump should not have interrupted too much there, but it's hard to listen to someone live for 2 minutes. Now, if you disagree with me, you're gonna wanna watch some of my previous videos and take a look at some of the information that I have. There are some things about Biden that I don't think a lot of people know.
And two, I appointed Johnson to the academy. I just want you to know that. Clap for that, you stupid.
Also, the moderator was incredibly biased, almost like his father was in Epstein's little black book. Yeah, he was. Not surprised there that Trump was debating 2 against 1. The next moderator is also a Democrat who happened to work for Biden, so that should be fun. Moving on. The other thing I wanted to discuss this episode was Hollywood. I love the film industry in general. I don't love the satanic pedowood cult. If you don't know much about that, dig into Mel Gibson. There's a video called What They Don't Want You to Know or What They Don't Want You to See. I believe it's Stranger Than Fiction. Check that out along with the pedowood Mouthy Buddha videos. So I've noticed certain celebrities speak out and certain ones don't. Mel Gibson was made to look absolutely crazy and it's looking more and more like he was telling the truth. You have very little celebrities speaking out about Maxwell, Epstein, or any of that. You have the Ricky Gervais speech from the Golden Globes calling some people out.
In this room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world. People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Look, talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, 2 popes. Shut up.
Some very interesting expressions in the crowd, and some of them are even going as far as leaving the country. If you were an elite celebrity who had taken part in secret sacrificial rituals, you probably wouldn't want anyone to know. You might hide behind the persona of being a good person. You might have a bunch of people who have no idea and love you and their energy keeps you going, right? I would dig into some of these documentaries that are out there about these Hollywood ritual satanic cults. I have spoken to a couple of people who have verified this. Now, I met someone named John Paul Rice back at the end of July, around August, and he had his own video that went viral.
These are people who have no ground to tell you what to think, what to do. So when they get up there and they start espousing their views on social justice or whatever the hell it is, know that you're hearing a controlled and scripted dialogue that is going through a filter by people who are very powerful, who hold a lot of money, and they are controlling and conditioning all of these people through pedophilia. And there's another layer to it, but it's too unbelievable to believe that they would also sacrifice kids.
Take a look into that. It's around 30 minutes long. Worth listening to. Because, you know, like some of the people from Out of Shadows were saying, these people in Hollywood, most of them just have a job that they wake up, they do the job, they go home. They don't really know. So it's not everyone. However, the creation of Hollywood dates back to like the CIA, propaganda, MKUltra, and Monarch, Mockingbird. I mean, the use of media to change people's minds is not a new concept, and it's been going on for generations. If you dig into some history of certain celebrities, even back to Judy Garland, they have some dark, dark history. Their careers were not all sunshine and rainbows at all. Judy Garland ended up being a bit of a drunk and addicted to pills, and that was pretty much because of what they made her do. She's not even the only one who's gone through that, and you've seen the celebrity meltdowns over the years. No one will forget the Britney Spears meltdown of 2007. And the more you learn about them and these people and what they're put through, the more you understand something like that, when you just don't want to be controlled anymore. That hashtag Free Britney is not a conspiracy, and it's not a hoax. She is genuinely having legal problems with her father. Another good person to look into is Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber had a couple videos that are worth watching and analyzing, especially Yummy, and after they came out, so did some accusations against him, almost like a karmic slap on the wrist for revealing anything that people could possibly figure out. That's the thing about people who try to speak up. They tend to disappear or overdose or take their own life. And the more I learn, the more I realize that those are probably setups or they're being framed. Michael Jackson really might be innocent. We have to take another look at these people, especially like Avicii. He just put out that video For a Better Day about human trafficking, hinting at child trafficking, and then that's it. He was gone. Anthony Bourdain was very anti-Clinton. If you look into all the people that have disappeared around the Clintons, that's pretty suspicious as well. So you gotta wonder what he knew. Even Mac Miller could have been a sacrifice for Ariana Grande's fame. Some of these people get so famous, you have to wonder what they did. And oftentimes they're indoctrinated as children through Disney or Nickelodeon, and there's a lot of abusers, especially within Nickelodeon and some of the top, directors and people, CEOs, the people who own these companies. I mean, Dan Schneider. Come on, that is just horrifying. I mean, the things that these kids were asked to do on camera even, it just gets really creepy when you look into Dan Schneider. Take a look at the Instagram account, the UK Patriot, and he has an excellent highlight on Nickelodeon and some of the other stuff that you should definitely look at. We all remember Kanye West and how he's been having meltdowns. But again, when you learn about MKUltra and the way that these people are controlled, brainwashed, and otherwise made into these alternative persona puppets, you start to understand why he's tried to come out, he's tried to be a Trump supporter. He acted really strange that one time, 2016 maybe. He came out, he had blonde hair, which is often a symptom of people who are trying to go against being brainwashed or just have been, and they don't want to be controlled anymore. And you have, Amanda Bynes, who has said that she wants her family dead and claimed that she's been microchipped. You have Tila Tequila validating what Kanye West is going through.
Like celebrities, like they have an illusion like they're all free and stuff, have all this money, but like literally they can't do shit. That's why they have like star whackers, because when you get out of line, like they'll whack your ass, because like they're providing you so much money and fame and all this shit that you gotta do what they tell you to do. And if you step out of line like Kanye West, like how he was like supporting Donald Trump because his like mind control was breaking down, he was waking up out of his like slave out of the puppet slave breeding.
A bunch of celebrities have said stuff like that. They have alluded to a place in Canada called Clonade that exists. There's a whole other rabbit hole with celebrities and the technology that these people seem to have access to. Kevin Hart has said that he has clones, but I mean, who knows? Sometimes it's like, I don't know if it's a joke, if they're doing it for attention, or if there really are clones. The laws against clones are iffy. And even if it was illegal in the United States, it's not illegal in Canada, and if you have a bunch of money, you can go anywhere, right? So the Donald Marshall story is worth looking into when it comes to cloning celebrities, like musicians especially, because he is someone who claims to be connected to the cloning centers, who has written a bunch of music for people like Britney Spears. It gets so crazy when you start thinking about whether or not these people that are gone have been sacrificed, whether they've been set up, whether they really are the bad person they're framed out to be or not, because of the things that they talk about. The people who are speaking out are made to look crazy, just like Mel Gibson. And you've got all these celebrities also who are acting like they're pro-Biden, and they're just going along with the mainstream narrative. I have found out so many things about this narrative that has made me question so much. And again, answering someone's messages who is familiar with Hollywood and getting all these testimonies from people has made it super real for me. These are just too many coincidences. It just gets too weird when you start learning about the history of these companies, who owns them, who is behind them, and how they're connected to who. It tends to come back to the Clintons a lot. You have people like LeVar Burton, who's into reading Rainbow, and a ton of children saw Reading Rainbow. It's way more than the symbolism. It's bigger than that. The possibility of this program being a mass brainwashing program gets high when you realize LeVar Burton has a connection to someone named Mar-a-Lago, who helped financially make the show possible through the Pew of Charitable Trust. So Lozado has connections to the Clintons and was exposed in the WikiLeaks email. So just think about that. It just goes on and on when you start studying Hollywood and the way that they brainwash children. There's Disney. I mean, I could do a whole video about Disney and how he was a Freemason, and how his whole idea of making a park with his own name around animated films that have subliminal messages for children, and just making mass amounts of money on it. Just think about that for a second, just in the big picture of things. Think about how crazy that is. And then there's Abigail Disney, who has spoken out against their greed and corruption. They bought out Pixar, probably because of movies like Bug's Life, encouraging, unity against an elite group that they outnumber. And then they took over Star Wars, which is a company that was encouraging rebellion. And now there's this whole narrative of having sympathy for the dark side. It's very interesting. I always wonder how these people get famous, what they have to do, who's responsible, what kind of deal did they make, and then, they make things that happen to them very public. You've got Chrissy Teigen, who's married to John Legend, who's famous for having all these inappropriate tweets. She deleted a ton of them, started complaining, then she was pregnant, and she recently announced that she lost her child. Now that's very, very unfortunate. However, strangely karmic. I respect anyone's grief. However, it's one of those things that is kind of hard to believe when you know what you know about her and her tweets and her connections to Epstein's flight logs. I'm not saying that she deserves it. I'm saying I'm not sure if there was even a child. Then again, what if she had to sacrifice it? I mean, that would be also pretty messed up. We can only speculate some of these things. The coincidences are many. The dots are very close together. Trust me, when you start researching Hollywood and you just see a couple documentaries, you'll know what I mean. Look into symbolism, because these rituals are really big with them. Like the halftime shows are basically rituals for these celebrities. Look at how they get programmed before and after they get really, really big. I mean, it's strange, the themes seem to repeat themselves. With that, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to do your research and use discernment. My show is running on donations. I also have a merch shop. Remember, I just launched some new designs. Let's get ready to get through October, guys.